All right, and we are live with the Writing Sprint Tuesday with your host, myself, Doug Lansborough, filling in for the great Abby Matthews as she is getting some much needed R and R. I don't know how much relaxing or resting. She's on vacation. She's having a good time. That's what's important. It is June 17th, 2025 today, and I see that the chat is already a bumping. Let's see what's going on here. Hello to Samantha, who's back after vacation, here to kick butt. Awesome. I hope you had a fun vacation. Let us know about it if it was fun. If it wasn't fun, I mean, you don't need to share, but you can. Ashley, congratulations. You got a contract at the school you're currently supplying at. Got your class list, you know, all the kids. That's fantastic. I know here in Canada, it can be really hard to get off the supply list or the part-time occasional list and onto full-time contracts. So I don't know what it's like over there, but I'm sure it's no easier. Congratulations. NJ, hello. B, hello. Let's see. NJ found a plot hole I can use to fix a sinkhole. So doing that today. Lee Lizzie, hello. David, hi. Keo, hi. Let's see. Keo's got drink in hand, ready to sprint. Excellent. Speaking of, here is the link to the first sprint. We're on deck for 3 20-minute sprints today, as per usual, with a 5-minute break in between. You'll find the links below me, but you'll find the first link in the chat. There we go. Excellent. Okay. I always worry that I go into this spiel and then no one can hear me. So it's always nice checking. Where did I leave off saying hello to people? Hope's here. Hello, JM Brown. Not going to be able to join sprints, but thought you'd say hi. Well, thank you for saying hi. That's fantastic. We're starting our first sprint here in 3 minutes. So let me keep working my way down the list. Sarah's here. Hello, hello. Let's see. Let me keep scrolling. Do I have everyone? I think Renee's here. Hello, Elena. Hello. And I think I got everyone. Ashley's got 4 drinks on hand. Excellent. All right. Okay. What is everybody writing today? I'm still knee deep in revisions. I'm getting a few, sentences written here and there for some outline for my next book, but got so many revisions to get through that most of my writing time, if not all of it, some days is going towards that, which is fine, right? It's still forward progress. I'm still very happy with it. And there's such a backlog that I can't really deviate from that. But I do miss just writing away in sprints. So let's see. What would Doug it be for a bonfire analogy? I saw something about marshmallows. I was only scrolling. Let's see. When your marshmallow, your work in progress, needs more heat, your friends show you a better spot. When it's ready for the final touches, someone tosses you a chocolate and or a graham cracker. Now I just want s'mores. All right. David's using the sprints to outline. You choose your own adventure book because you got carried away. Yeah, that's excellent. So you're going to start the sprints to start the actual writing of the story. I love it. Samantha's doing some critiques for some friends and then venturing back into the big hack and slash project. I love a good hack and slash. Renee's in the revision trenches alongside me. Love that. Sorry. And Linda, a scene on my dark romance novel called The Hunter and the Predator, where there's going to be a revelation during confrontation. You're loving chapter 12. Excellent. All right. And J.M. Brown, when I get a chance, I'm working on revisions. Just finished my first draft of my AI psychological horror. Congratulations, J.M. Brown. That's awesome. Let's give a chat round of applause for that because that's fantastic. Keo's just winging it today. And Athena, welcome. You're joining late, but you're good. We got 40 seconds till the first sprint starts. Maybe like 35 seconds when you'll hear that on your end. But you're 48,000 words in. That's awesome. Okay, before I forget, there will be no sprints this Thursday. It is Juneteenth in the United States of America, and that means that the Dabble team has the day off, so there will be no sprints then. However, there might be some people organizing some in W campus, so worth checking out there. If someone wants to champion that, go ahead. But we all shall be taking a break on Thursday. Anyway, beep that, but I'm going to mute myself. Happy writing, everyone. See you in 20 minutes. All right, and that is our first sprint of the day finished. I see Emily is quietly joining in. Keo saying this is the only sprint that you can attend this week because you'll be at work tomorrow. That's a bummer, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes, unfortunately. I wish I could say otherwise, but but I'd be lying. All right. So let me grab the link to the second sprint. If you're following along in wordsprints.org, don't forget to copy and paste your words between the clients. Oh, that's my face. All right. I might have accidentally hit a backslash and nope, looks good. Looks good. Okay, let's see how we all did here. Ashley, 775, fantastic. Athena, 552, great job. Renee got 78 new words through 15 minutes of editing, fantastic. David, 342, awesome. Keo, 205, great. B is 0 because you're on the phone at the moment. Excellent. Hope, 293. Lee Lizzie coming with 923, awesome. Linda got 600 words on sprint number 1, fantastic. And Elena with a great 49, awesome. Sarah, research rabbit hole with 46 words, but you discovered the old English word unlucan as someone who opens gates. Excellent. I'll be sure to use that one day. The D&D day, maybe we'll have one of those when the party gets going today. Awesome. Oh, okay. So yes, as I was saying before, no sprints on Thursday, unfortunately. And I guess if we have a little Dugget today, I'm saving a bigger Dugget for tomorrow. Let's pretend. But I've talked about filter words before: seen, should, heard, felt, that kind of stuff. Began is a big one. You There's nothing technically wrong with saying a character began to do something or started to do something. However, the very nature of writing something in chronological order denotes that they started doing that at some point. So unless the act of starting it is very important to what you're trying to describe, you don't need to include it. So let that be your little piece of wisdom today. Keo D&D party, just the party of adventurers. Not like a woo-woo party, but just the party of adventurers. They're uncovering this hidden plot that is leading them towards what I'm calling the Flesh Weaver, this abomination that stitches bodies together that they've been fighting for the last couple of sessions. But they have to unravel a little bit of a mystery first. It's been very fun. I love playing D&D, although I will say, when it comes to writing, when it comes to D&D, when it comes to anything that you love, it is possible to burn yourself out on it. And we know that's possible with writing, but it's possible with D&D too. I will say I'm feeling a little bit burnt out on my D&D campaign, and I think we're going to maybe take a break for the summer in a couple of weeks. We're all busy anyway. Um, so yeah, just when it comes to writing or D&D or whatever you do for fun that requires actual effort on your end, just be mindful that you can burn yourself out even with the really fun stuff. Okay. Kia knew what I meant. Excellent. Okay. Cool. Let's do this. All right. What else is coming up with Dabble today? Why don't I cover that, do my job or something along those lines? Later today, my pal Hank is talking about murder mysteries, but murder mysteries told in reverse, because that is what author Peter Swanson has done. And that is happening at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is like 15 minutes, 10 minutes after we are done our last sprint today. So in about an hour. So that'll be fun. Always a good time seeing Hank interview some of these authors, learning about how they work, how they got to where they are, how they come up with their ideas. Very fun. And then for the rest of the week, it is just sprints. That's it. That's all we got going on this week, and I think that's wonderful. But next week we have a lot of stuff going on, and that includes, if you're a Dabble Premium member, we have our workshop on creating a revision plan next week, and maybe your revision plan involves doing it during word sprints, like mine does. Maybe it doesn't, but we'll figure that out. Keo's currently playing a Blade Singer. I love that. Oh, and Elena's got this. Mental health is important. It is arguably the most important. All right. Sarah has such happy memories of playing D&D as a teen. You can make happy memories playing it as an adult too. Well, think on that for a little bit as our Next sprint starts. I'll see y'all in 20. All right, and that is our second sprint of the day finished. There we go. How did everyone do? I got 59 words written that time whilst revising 93 the time before. So, I'm up, which arguably is not the point of revising, but this is a revising for narration's sake, right? Making it sound better for when it's getting narrated, making sure that it's the best that it can be. It's not necessarily revising for conciseness. Let me grab the link for the third sprint while everyone lets me know how they did. There we go. And dropping it there. Athena, thanks for joining us and congrats on 530 words. That's awesome. Sarah, 190. Great. Hope, 236. Fantastic. Ashley, 656. Awesome. Samantha, minus 135. Excellent. Keo, 120. Awesome. David with a great 331. And Renee, 112 words whilst revising. And Elena, 254. Fantastic, everybody. Okay, non-writing question for the group. What is something you're looking forward to in the next couple of months? And Linda got 723 words on sprint number 2. Fantastic. Yeah, let me know what you're looking forward to. I mean this is an immediate one. Okay, I'm going to geek out on you all. There is a video game called Control, and it is one of my favorite games of all time. One of the only single player games that I've actually completed all the way through, minus the DLC. I haven't gotten there. Great tone, great world building, very good story. Absolutely loved it. And there's a game that came out today that is set in the same universe. So it's a struggle working today, people. The fact that I am here speaks to a level of willpower that I should be proud of myself for, because I am very pumped for that. So that's going to be my spare time between now and whenever I get sick of it. Ashley, your sister's wedding. That's fantastic. I love that. David, your birthday at the end of the month. Well, happy early birthday. Be sure to remind us when it is. Is it on a writing sprint day? Sarah, I'm going to the Outer Hebrides. I don't know what that is. So let me know. Renee, swimming in the hot weather. Ugh, I love swimming. Pools, lakes, preferably pools. I'm going to be honest. I prefer pools because I think I have two fears in life. One is witches, just like creepy New England witches. Ugh, no thanks. Two, uh, dark, deep water. I think, is it thalassophobia? Is that it? Like, uh. But I love swimming so much that at least when I know it's not a super deep lake, I have no problem. I just don't open my eyes underwater. uh, all right. Samantha, I get to host a bachelorette in 2 weeks. That's awesome. That's very fun. Keo, big mood. Yeah. Elena, ending your exams, finishing taking notes for your thesis, and writing your thesis. That's awesome. Thanks. David the 29th. All right, you'll have to remind us closer too. Okay, I need to look up the outer am I saying it right? Hebrides? It looks really pretty. Oh my goodness, now it's on my bucket list. Jeez. That looks awesome. Arrived in the Black Forest yesterday. We'll be here for 2 weeks. Man, that's another place I need to look up. Black Forest, not like the cake. Mountain range in Germany. Very cool. Gives me ritual vibes from Adam Neville. All right, Alina, my thesis is on Livia Drusilla in Suetonius. You're all giving me stuff to look up, which I absolutely love. Keo, seeing Lady Gaga in concert on your birthday. That's awesome. I forget how many people we have from the UK. So you all know what the Outer Hebrides is, but not me. Furthest outer Scottish island. Stone circles, amazing. Okay, Hebrides. Of course it is. Of course, I should have guessed that, right? My dad was born in Scotland. My grandparents with thick Scottish accents, so I should have guessed. What is the spacing between sentences on a manuscript? I have it set for single on Microsoft Word. 1.5 is usually your go-to these days. Some places, if you're submitting for queries for agents or publishers, will ask for 2, but 1.5 or 1.25 are generally your go-tos. I'm gonna remember that. Okay, we're starting our third and final sprint. Let me pop it up on the screen here. Not that one. That one. I'm over talking. We'll talk about more stuff afterwards. See y'all in 19 minutes and 50 seconds. All right, everyone. And that is the third and final sprint of the day done. Let's catch up on the chat here as you all tell me how you did. I got a whole word added in that 20 minutes. All right. Don't forget to copy and paste from wordsmiths.org if you join me in that session as well. Saves on your device for 24 hours in that sprint, and then it's gone. So, man, I'm still thinking about the Hebrides. Now I've always wanted to go to Scotland. Now I extra do because that just looks gorgeous. So you have a great time when you go to visit. That's so cool. Okay, what else going on here? Kio's doing a Zelda themed D&D campaign next month. I absolutely adore that. That sounds like a ton of fun. Reed popped in to say hi just as we were starting the last sprint, and I didn't notice. So, Reed, if you're still around, hello. If not, sorry I missed you. Elena saying Livia Drusilla is the first empress of the Roman Empire. Suetonius wrote a book on the life of the first 12 Roman empires. Very cool. Awesome thing to be studying. Keo, I think I speak for everyone when I say we need a weekly meetup where we can all just chill together and Doug can talk about whatever he wants without Sprint's interrupting him. If I could get paid to just talk, that's ideal. Emily has a question here. Let me celebrate everyone's successes before we get to the question, and then I'll let you all go before Hank starts his thing. So Hope got 210, which is great. Ashley got 641. Awesome. 2076 total. That's fantastic. Sarah got 214. Samantha minus 4 words. And Ashley put a pizza in the oven. Great. David 439. Renee 45 new words while editing. B wasted your sprint times. Oh no. Well, I hope you get to catch up on them. Keo switched gears into world building for the last sprint, so no words, but a lot of fun, I bet. Linda got 348 on sprint number 3. Great job. I'm so jealous. Hi, Reed. Classic ... And Elena 373 started chapter 18. The love interest killed. The culprit, the main character, is ex BFF. What a twist. I didn't see that one coming. All right. Emily saying, quick question here. I'm trying to pull out the tentpole scenes for my trilogy. Would there be an overall tent spanning all 3 books that could help me find clarity? Character arcs I can see more easily. Any advice? Okay, so when we think about story structure, we often, at least I default to the 3 act structure, and you can kind of apply that to anything, even like the hero's journey. It's cyclical, but you can still like juxtapose them together, right? Or not juxtapose. They can line up. Okay, you can make them work. So I like to think of it as that. And when it comes to a trilogy, you can almost do the same thing. Now you're going to have 3 acts within 3 acts, right? So like your first book is like the first act of the larger story, but it's still going to have its own 3 acts. It's still going to be a cohesive storyline. So with that in mind, you can't mimic it one for one. But what you can do is realize that the first book is going to put your character on their path and really introduce the bigger conflicts. It's going to show them the stakes, but there's probably not going to be that much resolved in it. They might resolve 1 or 2 things, but in terms of the bigger picture, there's still a lot more for them to accomplish. And a lot of that happens in book 2. This is where like the fun and games, the rising action, whatever you want to call it. This is where they make new friends and enemies and they learn new things. A lot of that happens in the second book, all while still being a cohesive story, right? Still having its own climax, still having its own arcs for your characters. And then the third book is where the your character, in order to succeed, they're going to have to change. And that change, because you're writing multiple books, they're going to change, either progress or regress, or maybe stay kind of the same in some of the first 2 books. But really, the ultimate change that they need to experience should happen in the third book. And it might not be like you might not be able to see in book 1, hey, they need to go through this change to be successful in book 3. But you got to start laying the groundwork for that so that everything that happens in book 1 or 2 has a payoff in book 3. And not everything. Everything relevant to the character and the main external plot should have some ripple effect or be tied up in book 3. So when it comes to actual tent poles, it's tough to really lay those out. Maybe it'd be worth doing a series planning workshop. One one day. That I'll add that to the list. But really try and think about it from your character's journey perspective, and how that relates to the story itself. The thing with trilogies and with series is that you can't have a lot of finality for the protagonist in the initial books, right? There's got to be some stuff left open for change and growth and struggle and conflict and all of that through the third book. Let's see what the chat's saying on this. Yes, I would love a workshop on writing a series, says Hope. I'll add it to the list. Hope writing a duology and mirrors and echoes are important devices. Yes, I have scenes that mirror each other, and I love seeing how the characters have changed and how things are the same or different. You don't need scenes that are like that. However, they are incredibly impactful if you can do them right. If you can put your character in a similar situation or one that directly mirrors something they experienced before, you can so easily show off how they've changed. That's one of the easiest ways to do it. Try not to be too blunt about it, but that's a great way to do it. Samantha, in my trilogy, I have a historical mystery that spans over all 3 books. Each book will draw us closer to the conclusion and its theme. I love getting to carry throughout. I love that. That's excellent. Keo saying, if you do a series workshop, I'll join. Keo, I expect you to join all the workshops. I'm kidding. Emily saying that's helpful, and yes, a workshop on series would be great. Please do. Yes, please, the trilogy. Okay, well, the people have spoken. You know what? I said I'll write it down, but if you know me, my memory is absolutely awful. So let me go to my workshop idea page. Y'all get to endure this as I find it, because it's the only way that you know it's getting written down. There we go. And series planning. And maybe some writing in there. Can't guarantee it'll happen in the next month or 2, but hey, it's on the list. So we'll get that. I will literally take time off of work for this workshop. Okay, well, now there's pressure. Now I'm erasing it from the list. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, before I let you all go, I want to go and grab a link to my pal Hank's show that is starting in just a moment here. Let me go and get that. I'm just going to keep mumbling so you think that something's happening whilst I'm just clicking on things. Here we go. And this is chatting with Peter Swanson about murder mysteries told in reverse. Dropping that link in the chat there. He's saying we could email spam you with the same info. Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining me for the sprints today. Tomorrow, Hank and I are tag teaming. Not tag teaming. We're co-hosting the sprints starting at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Same bat time, same bat place, 3 20-minute sprints. Tomorrow, I will see you all there. Go enjoy the show with Hank, or go enjoy doing whatever you're doing. Thanks for a fun time today. Bye for now.